Hello and welcome to the Movie Therapy Channel. We are Jim and Sam, and this is the show where we like to give you our rating first and then talk about the things we did and did not like about the movie we just watched. Today's movie is Annabelle Comes Home, which is also known as Annabelle 3. I don't know if it's actually known as Annabelle 3. I might call it Annabelle 3 in the review, but we'll see. Have you guys seen it? Came out Tuesday. If you did see it, let us know what you thought of it. Is a wait for it. I messed that up. Is it a pass it, wait for it, or see it? Let us know because we're letting you know in 3, 2, 1. Wait for it. I'm not surprised you gave it a C. You really, really dug it.
How did you know? Why are you talking for me?
Because I could tell we were watching it. I did really like the film. It's not top tier Conjuring universe films, but it is a lot better than the last couple of films that they've made. Annabelle Comes Home. Let's get into the things that we liked about this film. I'll start that. One of the things I really liked about the film is that they pretty much stayed true to the Conjuring films sort of formula, where the formula is like they ratchet up the tension, then they'll relieve the tension with some laughs. James Wan's really good with that. Conjuring 1 and 2 are essentially like really fun films because not only are they scary, but they actually make you laugh quite a bit. You know, the little sidekicks that are in there that work with the Warrens are a lot of fun. I remember the first one had the Asian kid that was really fun, who was like the other ghost hunter with them. Conjuring 2 had the cops that come to visit to the house, and then they see the chair move. So there's moments like that are peppered throughout the first two Conjuring films that are also peppered in this one. And I felt like moments like that were kind of missed in The Nun and La Llorona. La Llorona did have some fun with it, but I
liked La Llorona.
I liked it too, but the fun in that came in like sort of like the end when we got like the priest, the former priest character, who was a lot of fun. But up until that character, it was really dreadful, and it was still good. But one of the things I really like about these movies is that they are actually quite a bit of fun to watch. Mm-hmm. So I really like that aspect. I liked the actual horror was really good. Mm. There are some jump scares, but I did like the subverting your expectations with some of the jump scares. So they move the camera around to get you to expect like, oh, something scary is about to happen, but then nothing scary happens and they just linger in the scene. Yeah. And it builds a creepy atmosphere. This is also a directorial debut from the guy that directed this. He's been, I believe, a writer or at least a producer in the entirety of the Conjuring universe. This is the first time he's directing one of these movies, but he's been involved with the franchise for a little while. So not a bad start for this director. He's got some chops. Cinematography is really good. And what are some things that you liked about this film?
I thought you were going to forget about me.
No. I kind of ran through the things that I liked.
I actually really liked the storyline. I thought it was very captivating. I liked all of the different pieces and all of the different all of the different supernatural characters that were involved. And there were a few that I actually didn't really care for. Like some of the storylines I didn't really care for, but for the most part, all of the supernatural creatures that came into the world, the demonic creatures that came into the world, were all really, really good and really creeped me out, and I liked it. I really liked that. I really liked the coins that were on people's eyes, and then they were kind of popping up throughout the entire film when it was getting really tense and scary. And I liked getting to know the backstories of these ghost stories, because that's really... I like a good ghost story. I like a good movie with a good, bottom line, good ghost story. And I think this one really was able to throw all the ghost stories in one movie, and you got a bunch of different ones. You had like the werewolf, you had the demon, and then you also had just some ghosts. So I thought that was really intriguing for me, who just really liked a good ghost story.
Mm-hmm. Favorite scene?
My favorite scene was when the babysitter goes into the closet and has to go and get Annabelle. That was really spooky.
Oh, okay, yeah. My favorite scene's it's around that same area. It's the toll ghost. That whole sequence featuring you got to pay the toll man. It was super with the coins. That's my favorite sequence of the film.
Yeah.
I thought that one was probably the most captivating of the scary scenes. That was the most interesting of the ghosts. Mm-hmm. I think it had the best lure behind it.
It's definitely creepy.
But like you said, there's a whole bunch of ghosts in this. And they all have some different backstories. They don't go too much into it, but that toll one was the most developed.
But they also touched in a way that you got to know what they were trying to express, like why each of them was in there. And the Warren story in that room is so interesting, and I've done a lot of research on it because Lorraine and Edward are definitely one of the people that I like to do research on because they're so intriguing and interesting. And their stories, even though some people don't believe that, some people may have believed that these people had embellished on these stories. And I really like the fact that there is this whole museum and world that they lived in that had all of these matches to each independent object. And they kind of were able to touch that in the movie.
I did think it was kind of cool that when the horror starts to happen in the film, that the film sort of plays out like a Halloween Horror Nights greatest hits of ghost scenes, or essentially maybe like a haunted house maze.
Yeah.
Whereas each phase you're facing off or like trying to get through a different ghost. And that's sort of how this film plays out.
Right.
Now, with all those things said, let's get into the things that we didn't like about the film. So for me, I'll start with, there's a couple things I didn't like. I'll just go, the first thing that stands out to me is that while I didn't mind the story was fine. The dialogue in the first half was really stiff, and it gave off, I felt like it was making the actors give some awkward performances, and I wasn't sure how I was feeling in the first half because I wasn't really buying into any of the characters because the dialogue that they were having to act out was very unnatural, very stiff, and kind of took me out a little bit. It just bothered me until the horror stuff started to happen. Once the horror stuff started to happen and they had more fun with it, it definitely took a turn. And that's why for me, like the first half is kind of like, I don't know how I feel about it. The second half is really good. That's why for me, it's like a wait for it because it's kind of like a tale of two halves. The first half, I could do without. Second half, I thought was fantastic.
I mean, that's kind of why I gave it a C because of the second half. Second half really pulled it forward. I have to agree with you. I think the first half was a little stiff. It was a little... Some of the dialogue was a little awkward, but things that I didn't really care for, even though I knew that the story was going to be about Judy and that she has kind of the same similar, I don't know, gift as if that's what you want to call it, or something, the way that she can communicate with the dead as her mom. I knew it was going to be about that, but I was super bummed that Lorraine and Edward was not as part of it as much as they were. I was hoping that they were going to be a part of it more.
They're only in it for like 10 minutes.
They're only in it for 10 minutes, but I really want to see another one like the first one where they're going, and the first two is really about them going and finding these creatures. So I'm really hoping that they come out with one that's really specifically geared towards the two of them. But for the most part, I did really like it.
I mean, they're making The Conjuring 3, and they're going to be in that.
Oh, they are making a Conjuring 3?
Yeah, the guy that directed La Llorona is making Conjuring 3.
All right, as long as the two of them are in it, I think that I really like the two of them as far as actors just in general. But I'm really going to be looking forward to that one. But that was really my only takeaway. And there was one that I didn't really like, and I felt like I could really notice the green screen, like with both the ghost and the werewolf. I don't know if that like gives it away.
The budget was a little low on the werewolf. You could tell that the CGI wasn't really there. I mean, it didn't bother me.
Whatever. I don't know. I really didn't like. I didn't really like the incorporation of the werewolf in general. I could have done with that one in particular. That was the only one that I was like, like a werewolf movie. I would want to see like on its own, not as part of like a big ghost story.
Yeah. The other issue that I had with the film is that the majority of the films in this franchise, or at least I would say almost all of them, focus around one central figure. So there's like one central ghost haunting these people, and you always get like the lure and the backstory of this one ghost, and it's always like super interesting. I thought the backstory of La Llorona was really interesting. The nun was kind of fascinating. You know, the backstory for the demons in the two Conjuring films I thought was fascinating. Whereas with Annabelle Comes Home, there's so many ghosts. We never focus on one particular ghost. We actually, unless you're really familiar with Annabelle and the demon that has attached itself to the doll from the previous films, they go into nothing into the demon whatsoever that's causing all this mayhem.
Yeah, the only thing they say about Annabelle is that she attracts others.
And that's it. So while the film and the ghosts were cool, we never really learned too much. We don't go too far into the lure. We don't focus on any one specific story with these ghosts, which kind of makes it feel a little disjointed, and it makes for a fun ride, but it made it a little less compelling because we're just having one ghost thrown at us one right after the other. And outside, the only history we get of any of these ghosts is 1 or 2 lines that we got from like a case file that they read about these ghosts.
Yeah, but that was enough for me. Like, that really was enough for me to still enjoy the story. Like, I just wanted to know a little tiny piece of what these ghosts were, and then go from there. Like, I really liked that they were able to piece all of the ghosts. They were able to do a lot of different stories into one. But like, that was the point of Annabelle, was that she was able to make all of these other ghosts come to life.
Yeah, look, to give an example, the scene in The Conjuring 2 when Ed Warren turns his back to the chair, and then you see like the old man in the chair and he starts talking to it, and we're getting backstory and history of like what is there.
Yes, but the Conjuring movies focus on one ghost story.
But all like La Llorona was like that. But like all like that interesting lure and like the history of this is all out. That's all gone. It's like, and we'll just run in circles talking about this. So I mean,
we're in a fight.
So we can just put it to rest. Like, you didn't mind it. I wish they could have done a little bit more.
Like, even had like less ghosts but more backstory.
Yeah. Maybe like, what do they want outside of the fact that they just want a soul? Like, I mean, that's the only thing I got from is
Annabelle wanted a soul. Annabelle was the only one that wanted a soul.
Were these ghosts working for Annabelle? Or they like teaming up to get this demon?
Well, I saw it as these were Annabelle's puppets.
I mean, could be.
Like, that's how I saw it. I saw it as all of these ghosts were Annabelle's puppet, trying to get to the one goal of trying to get them as a... You're laughing at me.
No.
As... They were trying to get one soul, but they were working together, and they were working under Annabelle. Like, Annabelle was running the show. Like, who knows if those were real ghosts that came to life? That could have just all been in the imagination of the 3 characters, because she was able to do that because she was so powerful.
The other way you can look at this is that they essentially wanted to set up a whole bunch of spin-off films, because all of these ghosts could get their own film. They're
really good.
The werewolf could get its own film. The samurai could get its own film. The toll guy, ghost could get its own film.
Essentially, that's what they did with the nun. But the ninja was cool. The like samurai.
Oh, is the samurai guy?
Samurai. Sorry. The samurai was really interesting because you could, like, when she went close to it, you could hear the screams.
Yeah, you could hear the battle.
And that was intense.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That was pretty cool.
So, but like, that's the other thing. I didn't...
Just little snippets of those gave those stories. Like, I didn't need to hear all about this, but, like, you have to make I made the connection of, like, that samurai was probably a soldier. But, like, you don't need an entire backstory.
The thing is, like, without the lure and without the interesting stuff, the stuff that I think makes the Conjuring film so good, this is worth a watch. I like rewatching the Conjuring films. I don't know if I would rewatch this one.
No, I wouldn't.
But it's that stuff. It's those slow moments that build the tension and dread that, like, we know that these things are after one particular, or at least one thing or one person.
What was after one thing? They were after Judy's soul. You knew which one they were after.
Yeah, but it's just those scenes where they take a break to actually establish some rules. I just think in the
Conjuring movies, Lorraine and Edward's characters really, like, draw you in a little bit differently than the characters in this one. Like, these characters didn't draw me in. I liked the fact that Judy, the daughter, was able to play a big part in it.
Yeah.
And Judy's character was great, and, like, that was great. But yeah, I disagree.
Okay, we could just talk in circles. I mean, I feel like we're talking in circles at this point. But those are essentially my nitpicks with the film. That's it for me. All right. So that's it for us. So we saw this film earlier. We might see another film, maybe do another review on the weekends.
What's out?
I do want to see that movie Yesterday.
What about Anna? Is Anna out?
That bombed. No one's seeing it.
Bombed? Nobody's seeing it? Nobody likes it?
That debuted at number 9 at the box office in its opening weekend.
What does that mean?
That means
it sucks.
Yeah, that means no one has any interest in seeing Anna.
Oh.
But Yesterday's the other one that I do want to see that comes out this weekend.
What was that one about?
That's the one where the one guy, he wakes up one day and then he's like singing a Beatles song. He's doing like a cover of a Beatles song, and no one knows what he's singing. And they're like, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah.
He goes, "No, it's the Beatles. Like, who's the Beatles?" And he's woken up in an alternate timeline where the Beatles never existed.
Oh wait,
I do
no.
want to see that.
Never mind. I'm thinking of something else.
You're thinking of the Bruce Springsteen one.
Yeah. Okay.
They both feature Indian actors, but the one yesterday is specifically a guy that knows all the lyrics of Beatles songs, and he's singing all the lyrics to the Beatles songs, and he gets like signed to like a big label. He does a big concert. He's about to take off on the biggest tour in the world.
Oh, okay.
Because he essentially gets famous for other people's work, but no one knows that it's other people's work.
Yeah.
But he does, and he has like a moral conundrum. Like, is this right that I'm this famous for singing other people's songs?
I vaguely remember that.
We've only seen the trailer once.
Yeah, I was gonna say I vaguely remember that. I just think that the Bruce Springsteen's one's just
They've been
playing
marketing that a lot better than yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
But yesterday did come out. It actually came out today.
Cool.
So, all right. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, like and subscribe to see more because we got more coming. We also have Spider-Man Homecoming, which we are doing next week. Comes out next Tuesday.
Sweet.
Not sure if anything else comes out next week, but that's it. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you next time, guys.
Bye.